Hello, hello, dear audience, and welcome for the last time this semester, which, that tears me up, but whatever, to Grand Prix Talk, the show that brings a Daisy Circuit mindset to the Santa Monica Pier style world of motorsports. That, by the way, is someplace I gotta go to this summer. What do y'all think?
You ever been to Santa Monica?
I've been. Santa Monica,
Santa Monica
low-key,
scares me.
It almost feels like home,
terrifies.
sort of.
I've
been a
been
while.
advised
I've been like 3 times there.
by a close friend of mine to not go to the Santa Monica Pier
Why?
I've been there too many times.
because
Have you
it's
been there?
full of scams.
Have you been there?
Well, that's more
I've been there once
Venice.
in
The
my
only
life.
reason
I
why I
think the
went
scams
there
are
was
in
because
Venice.
I wanted to see the GTA layout in real life.
For real.
You're so real for that.
No, because I was like, I played this game for forever, and now I want to see
They have
it.
GTA
And then,
in Russia?
what's wrong with Russia?
Well, I don't
Like,
know.
you,
I know you
people
can-
ask me questions. Do you have air in Russia? Type question. Because
Well,
it's
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't
We
know.
do have PlayStation and everything, so why wouldn't we have? We have like
I don't
the
know,
games
gang.
that I have are
Your
like.
country, like every time we have music on the YouTube, it says it's banned in Russia.
Well, now yeah, but do you think people still don't listen to it?
Oh, I don't know.
You
I'm
know,
just
they still
asking.
do, but
Just
real though.
asking.
No,
trying
it's
to
a
be
fair
informed.
question. People will be like, "This is the most sanctioned country in the world," and we have G-wagons and BMWs on the street driving still.
I don't think, yeah,
What
I
are we
don't think
talking
that. I'm just was like, they don't.
Yeah, it could be a possibility, but no, we do have GTA. I passed it actually full on. And my brothers erased all of my memory on the game. I'm pissed, but love them though.
You could swing on them in 30 days,
35.
35 days.
That's an interesting conversation. Anyway, folks, my name is Sergio Morales. I'm joined by my full team right over here. Kaylee Gallagher in green, Elmira Darmanian in black, and Zachary Durham in the Texas hat.
Hook 'em.
And
Oh,
it's
boy.
orange.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Take that as you will.
The one thing I didn't do when I was out in Texas is drive by Coda.
Why didn't you do that?
It was out of the way. I mean, it's not far from the airport. It's like 15 minutes away from the airport.
It is.
But, I mean, to be honest, like, it's not like we can go on the track. We would have just driven by it and been like, all right, look at all them chickens.
the track.
Let's turn around and go home.
Literally.
I mean,
But we're going. I will go to a race one day.
Amen. Me too.
Real.
I just hope that they bring back Formula One to Sochi so I can go.
I thought that track is closed now. Like, a lot
No,
of
it's
the
open.
big track is closed.
It's open. People still do race there, like karting and stuff.
Formula One doesn't race
Just-
there because of the political
Yeah,
aspects.
Which all of a sudden we bring it to the sport.
No,
When
I
it
know,
comes-
but I remember hearing that a lot of what was the track got closed down, and now it's like a little tiny version of it.
Mm-mm.
No? That's
It's still big,
going?
yeah.
Okay.
No, but they're not like they're just karting racing, not like actual Formula One. There are other, I think there are like
You
Russian
could see
series.
future Formula One drivers.
Probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Sorry,
Well,
but God forbid it's another Nikita Mazepin. 'cause
Oh.
Mazepin? We better get another one of those.
Mazda spin. in the wall.
Mazepin. I
Mazda
still
spin.
ain't forgotten. Mazda
Him and
spin.
Lance Stroll are like this.
Lance Stroll
Nah,
into a
Liam
wall.
Lawson too. Liam Lawson.
They're like this. They're like triplets.
Lance
of the Formula
Stroll into a wall.
they're best friends
Liam
for real.
Law spun into a wall.
Oh, that
You're
was
cooking.
good.
You're cooking. You're cooking. You're cooking.
What?
I said Liam Law spun into a wall and Lance Stroll into a wall.
Nikita Mazepin pinned into a wall.
Oh.
Pinned to the wall.
Mazepin.
He was
to
like,
the wall.
Mazza spin into a wall.
I love what we're coming up with.
There-
Bars.
Dang,
I'm
we
going
came up with this too late in the season. We could have been saying Liam Law
Lost spun.
spun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
He indeed lost spun in Australia.
I mean, he said week one, Lolson.
true.
Liam Lolson.
Yeah, that's a little weak.
It's a little weak.
I
It's a low-hanging fruit.
All right.
It's, you put it on low heat on the pan.
All
Pan's
right,
on
in
low
my
heat.
defense, I was full on just dump watching, and we know it. I was too
Mhm.
carried away by the fact that I just wanted Liam Lolston to finish dead last.
Let's go talk about business. What
Let's
do we
just talk about. Okay, before we start diving into Formula One, let's just talk about MotoGP. Okay, we're gonna take off 4 wheels. We're gonna take a look at 2 wheels instead. This just in, according to motorsport.com, the promoters of the MotoGP World Championship have reached an agreement with Harley Davidson.
Oh.
Harley Davidson, okay.
Oh.
Wait for it. There's more. To incorporate a one-make championship into next season's Grand Prix calendar. While an official announcement and further details are still to come, the series is expected to feature a calendar of up to 7 events, each consisting of 2 races.
Ooh.
So MotoGP really is trying to appeal to everybody, okay? Because they have Moto E, which is the electric motorcycle racing,
Mhm.
and now there's Harley Davidson racing. Like, that's pretty cool.
Word.
Harley Davidson racing. All right, that's all I'm gonna leave it at.
I can get on board with that.
Huh?
I can get on board with that. That
I
just
think
feels like a
everyone-
brand that deserves to be in motorsport.
I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier, honestly. Like, you would think that with Harley Davidson's legacy and just what they do, you would think that they were gonna, have some type of motorsport involvement,
Yeah.
but they never did until now.
Do they know where they will be racing?
Not yet. Like I said, there's still an official announcement and scheduling and all that. Like, all of that is yet to be announced. The one thing we know for sure is that Harley Davidson and MotoGP are best friends now. They are newly found friends, and it's gonna be great. It's all sunshine and rainbows for
now.
For
At
now.
least there. We don't have that very often.
So I will say this. Oh, there is one confirmed round. None other than Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas.
Look at maybe you'll go to
Maybe
MotoGP.
they'll go to MotoGP. Probably be much more affordable. But
A lot more.
yeah.
You're gonna get to see the Harley Davidsons and MotoGP out there.
I was at work not too long ago.
Uh-huh.
It was like maybe a month or two, and he was wearing. It was after a race. It was like after the season had started. It was a race weekend. He's wearing his United States Grand Prix 2024 shirt. I'm like, oh, so he was there last year. And I go up to him. It was like a dad with his wife and 2 daughters. And I was like, oh, you're a motorsport fan. Like, did you go to the race? He's like, yeah, I've been for the last 10 years. He goes every year. He goes for F1. Does NASCAR race there?
Yes.
Yeah. He did F1, NASCAR. I think in the past they've done IndyCar before.
2019.
And then he's been to like a bunch of different series at that course. And he said nothing beats F1.
Wow.
But he said if there was one to compete, it would be MotoGP. He said that it was much more entertaining than NASCAR or IndyCar.
Formula One
For
needs
Coda.
to come back to Long Beach.
I'm just saying, like, hey, it would be pretty cool. But I think Long Beach, like, that track is pretty small for F1 at this point. Like, all
Yeah,
the
it's not
upgrades they
long
need to
enough.
do and all that.
I feel like it's also
Cars are getting smaller next year.
considering
though.
the way
Oh.
Long Beach Grand Prix was organized, unless like actual F1 organized, like FIA comes down and organizes
That's who
it,
it would be.
because they would have to. I don't think. I'm so sorry, Long Beach Grand Prix Association. I don't think it was. Could have been better in a sense, like safety wise, and just organization wise.
What's the president of the FIA? Ben something? Sulayem? Sulayem? I don't know.
Read it.
Sulam.
Yeah.
Hudam Sulaim.
He's not coming to Long Beach anytime
He's
soon.
not. He's not coming along.
He's gonna lose his
Ben
job.
Sulayem, probably like
Did you-
Mohammed.
Mohammed Ben Sulam.
Yeah. Did you see the
Wait.
picture or
It's
him?
probably like Mohammed Ben Salem or something like that.
I think it's Sulam.
Sulam is an American.
Oh.
Salem is probably gonna be Salem or Salam.
I don't know. I've
Sulam,
heard Sulam.
probably.
He's not a
Salem.
likable guy. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, duh.
Susie Wolf and now reportedly Carlos Sainz Sr.
Yeah.
are in the running for FIA
See, but
president.
isn't that like a conflict of interest if you're?
It's huge conflict of interest on both. It's less of a conflict of interest with Susie, given that she
Yeah.
runs the FIA Academy right now,
right.
and obviously doesn't interfere. I think Carlos Sainz Sr. would be a very, very huge conflict of interest.
Yeah.
I think both are equally though, no? Because
I mean-
regardless, it's family for both.
Yeah, but Susie's a little more reputable in that she's already running
Yeah, that
the
is true.
FIA Academy and knows how to separate that
Work.
kind of balance. And it's not like
But they don't have Toto and the Fawn Academy, no. So
no, but
There's nothing
here's the
separate.
other thing that not many people are thinking of. There's nothing like they're gonna get away with penalties and things like that.
yeah, it's not gonna
Because they're
straightforward.
not race stewards and they're
Right.
not this and that.
That
They
is
don't
true.
have control fully over that. The president doesn't just get to say,
He's
"Yeah,
not,
give that
he-
team a penalty because I
Yeah.
said so."
He's not the one waving the checkered flag at the end of the race, only
Yeah.
when their driver comes by
If
faster.
It really did
the
come
race
down.
ends when Carlos Sainz crosses the finish line.
Yeah. Like, if it really did come down between Sainz Sr. and Susie, I'm taking Susie. She already has a background in running something similar to F1. Granted, F1 Academy is not as big as F1. It should be.
Should be.
But she has experience in that running that Carlos Sainz Sr. does not. And he irks me the wrong way.
Why?
Just the way he is with the media when it came to Carlos being at Ferrari and stuff, the Spanish media. He was the one kind of orchestrating all that.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Briefly off topic tangent, but I showed I showed Elle the Monoposto mobile game.
Yeah, I can't let go of that, Sergio. Now
Have you customized your cars yet?
What do you mean, like the?
You can literally download like
livery?
custom.
Yeah,
paint
I know, but I haven't yet. I'm just getting used to like actually. I've raced in Bahrain probably like 20 is underestimating it. 50 times at least.
Shout out Marco.
The second
Pace.
I downloaded that game, I can't let go. Like I'm literally.
I had to
Oh, there
delete
you
it
go.
because I was playing it so much.
No, I literally like I'm in class doing it and everything, and it's just like not okay.
Shout out Marco Pez for developing the type of Formula One game the fans deserve.
Literally that,
that is
and you know
true
what
family
pisses
work.
me off? You know that first turn at Bahrain
Mhm.
after the start. Every single when you play
Cancel.
against the computer, every single car stops. If I start P3, they brake so hard, and I have that millimeter space to go in between and make a turn. And the amount of times I had to restart a game because
Because of that.
dummies would stop and brake so fast that I'm still going at like 7,
Mhm.
and I crash. And then I hear the radio saying like, "Oh, so sorry, we have to disqualify," and then 5-second penalty.
For
For
real.
what? Because your computer stopped fast? Like what? Yeah,
Honest
pisses me off.
feedback to Marco. Please, your AI in the game does need
Love the
some
game, though.
improvement.
Love the game.
Absolutely. But I bring that up because the Illinois track in the game, I say screw it. It's California. It's the Los
Really?
Angeles track. There's a
only-
track in there, the 2025 edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's passes off as Illinois. Why? I don't know. But you know what? Because I'm in control at that point, I say nah, California.
I mean,
Sergio's the president of the FIA.
they have Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, China, Azerbaijan, which I'm never playing, Florida, Emilia-Romagna, Monaco, Spain, Canada, Austria, United Kingdom, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Singapore, Japan, Qatar, USA, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, Portugal, Germany, Malaysia, Turkey, Tuscany, Europe, Illinois, France, Andalusia, South Africa. They need to bring back F1 to South Africa
They do.
I think they're working on it. I
They
think-
are working
So,
on it.
like, they
Hamilton's
need it
like a big.
immediately because
Big force behind it.
Yeah.
it's so great.
Will he
So-
even be on?
Racing?
Yeah, will he be racing by
By
the
the
time they
time?
get there?
I think he won't
Hopefully not.
retire until he gets
Until
Until
he
they
wins
get
one
it
of
done.
them.
Yeah,
until
that's
he
his.
gets a race.
That's his white whale.
He'll be in,
Just
he'll
bringing.
be like Fernando. Just
Yeah,
The rookie.
The
every
rookie
year.
on the
rookie.
grid. Rookie Chad Lonzo.
Can we talk about Fernando real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
What is he doing? What are they? They're just Aston Martin are just letting him die over there.
Aston Martin
it
is
really
not doing much.
throws me back to what race was I think it was Singapore where George goes, they're gonna sacrifice Leclerc. That's what they're doing to Alonso right now. They're gonna sacrifice Alonso.
It's just so obvious that they don't care about this season, and they're building the 2026 engine with the new regulations. And they're
Adrian
probably,
Newey.
with Adrian Newey, whatever rocket ship he's building, like they're probably thinking that they're going to go out and sign Max Verstappen, which is a huge rumor.
There's
That's
no
the-
way that's happening.
Aston Martin.
Martin?
There's a very
I want
large
whatever
rumor.
Max would rather
I-
retire.
I want whatever Lawrence Stroll is smoking if he thinks he's gonna sign Max Verstappen.
Hey, they'll basically give
definitely
him a
smoking
blank
something.
check.
True.
Aston Martin will give Max Verstappen
I
a
don't
blank
think
check.
Max cares about money like that. Max
Oh,
cares
he
about
doesn't.
winning.
No, he doesn't care about anything. He just wants
And
to
he's not winning
race
in the
and
Aston
win.
he
Martin.
wants to sim race, and he wants to be a father.
Honestly,
He also
which I
wants
think-
to win. I think you guys forget that majorly. Max does not like to lose.
It's true.
Who's you guys?
If
I've
he
never
goes
said
to
about it.
Aston Martin, he's not winning.
Well, this year they're not winning. I think they're a project that
Max is a project.
they don't want. Back to my original point, I don't think Fernando Alonso is a part of this project. You know what I mean?
Like the new upgrade of Aston Martin.
Yeah, I just don't think they're worried about how the end of his career goes.
Do you think Sainz
They're
will
more
ever go
focused
there?
about
Aston Martin, possibly
of what.
leaving
Sainz
Williams to go to
goes
Aston
to
Martin.
Aston Martin?
I mean, if I was
But I
Carlos
don't
Sainz
think-
right now, I'd be like, hey, can I stay here for a little bit?
Yeah, because Williams is doing pretty well.
They're
I don't
killing it
think
this
Williams
season.
is gonna let him go. Williams is like better than.
I just
Ferrari.
need
I don't
Fernando
know what his
Alonso to score
contract
some
looks
points for my
like.
fantasy team because I don't
Really?
want to drop him.
What do you mean?
I already dropped
have
him. I'm pretty
Sainz?
sure.
No, I'm talking about Fernando.
Oh,
I still have Fernando.
I've never
It's
had him.
I feel like the week I drop him, he's
I
gonna get in the
rebuke.
points. He's gonna finish like 9th or 10th with his best result.
Hey,
of the
you know
season.
what? Keep him because we're fighting for P1 and P2 over here, and I refuse as a European.
You know, I
being
don't think I
second.
ever bothered to check the F1 fantasy standings.
No, you
because-
know what?
Should we look over it?
Made
Let's
me-
look over.
I feel
We're
like-
all here.
Yeah, you know what made me win? I think because a lot of people didn't take Yuki, and they lost points.
I got Yuki.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
I think
didn't have
Sergio has
him.
Yuki.
I had
no,
Yuki,
when
but then
Yuki when he
he
was in
dropped.
RB. That's
I
when
had
people
when he was
Yuki.
cheaper.
Yeah.
But they made me drop him and have to
Yeah.
repurchase him at the higher.
I remember you
And they
fixing it.
and they raised his price by like 4 or 5 million
Yeah,
just
for no
because
reason.
he's in a
It's
Red
still,
Bull,
like-
even though it's arguably the worst car.
And
Oh,
I was
no.
so mad about that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
But
What
yes,
if I have
Sergio,
to pay higher price.
Where were you going with this?
I
Huh?
can read
I
the
don't know.
standings if you want.
So I'm basically You know what? Elle, run us through the standings.
So we have a classic private fantasy league for Formula One, which you can do through Formula One app. Formula One app, sponsor us, please.
Really?
You can literally give a name to your team, be the actual general manager, kind of get the experience of it. Our 22 West league is called 22 West Racing Cup, and we currently have
I think there's
7
of us.
people in here.
Yeah.
Yup.
The first position Zachary is taking with his team called Papayas Queen, which is fair, to be honest. I'm very proud to
What?
be racing against Zach because I'm second. Zach has 1,130 points. His main driver is Oscar Piastri. His constructors are McLaren and Haas. Do you want me to read all the drivers on his team?
No, I mean that's kind of like
Just the main
I mean,
driver.
to be honest,
The
I was just
double.
gonna say, like, I invested
And Oscar.
56% of my budget. I think it was. That's how much it cost for Oscar and McLaren. 56 million out of your 100. So that was a big chunk of my budget that I invested into them, and it's paying off. Like, I don't think anyone else in the league has McLaren.
I do.
Oh, you do. I thought you had Ferrari and
You got me
Mercedes.
messed up. No. I don't. I'm
No, no, no,
no,
no.
No, never that.
Because I refuse to be losing. I have a Max Verstappen mentality. I'm also gonna say the comment that I saw said last race weekend when it was Miami. Remember in the Discord?
I feel like I remember.
I'll say it. Anyways, second we have my team, which is called Zell Racing, and that currently I'm standing second at 1,015 points. My main driver is Oscar as well because I feel like he's underpriced, I would even say. And my main oh wait, what the?
Did you just try to call me a liar and then realize that you were the
Yikes.
liar?
Wait, what do you mean?
You don't have McLaren.
I
looking at your
literally
team right
managed
now.
my team right after Miami because I was like, Mercedes is not bringing me any
Oh,
points.
you probably just put him in there. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
last
You're
week's
looking at
results.
Miami, but if
Oh,
I
okay.
press manage team right now, I have Piastri, Albon, Hajar, Ocon, Behrman, McLaren, and Haas. That's literally what I have. So the third we have L's backup team, which literally is my backup team, and I'm currently regretting putting Garrett on Formula One Fantasy because I made it and now it's like racing against me. Because
Well, so
he's at 961 points.
But so are you in control of that team,
Yeah.
or is he?
He doesn't watch F1.
No, I
unless he's
know, but like
forced to.
you obviously had to sign him up through his email.
Yeah.
So are you just logging in through his response? Like, I don't
No,
know.
I just take his phone.
Fair. All right.
No,
that's-
it's Piastri as well, and Williams and Mercedes.
He's got Kimmy.
Yeah, he does. I just wanted to test how well Kimi will do in fantasy if you have them. And then we have Christina, Turbo Twinks, the right. Well, her and Garrett are actually the same amount of points.
They're exactly tied.
961. And her main driver is Oscar Piastri as well, and her constructors are Mercedes and Williams.
So a lot of people seem to have Oscar.
Yeah. To Dare is to Duhan, which is basically
The great name.
Tottenham, yeah, the great name of Desi Lopez, his Formula One fantasy team. He has Oscar Piastri as his main driver. Ferrari and Haas are his constructors. Then we have Motorsports, which is Sergio's team. He's standing at 645 points. His main driver is Max Verstappen, and constructors are Red Bull Racing and Haas. And then we have the loyalist fan ever on planet Earth, Scuderia, the Kid Racing, Kaylee's team. She has Charles Leclerc as her main driver, and her constructors are Ferrari and Haas. So I would say this is pretty entertaining, especially when you're watching Formula One races, and then like you can because you also get the kind of projection of the amount of points that you can get, and you see the scores change live, and it's just like I think it's cool. Yeah. And back to the comment that I was talking about last race when I was we were watching Max. And I said, honestly, I don't hate Max anymore. I'm tired of hiding it and being two-faced. If I was Max and if someone told me I have the chance of pushing someone off the track and not getting anything for it, I would. It's the mentality of a winner. You're not supposed to feel nice or bad for people racing with you because everyone has. It's not like you're not allowed to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's
Aggressive racing
is on top.
Yup.
Go Max.
Yippee. All right.
Unless it's against my driver or don't even.
I mean, we'll what can I say, right? What can I say? Like I'm sort of a little bit more neutral this year, except for Yuki. I generally want to see that guy actually do well. Yeah. That's pretty much about the most comments I got. Check back with me in 2026, though. That season is shaping up to be something else. At least from the looks of it. We'll find out. Okay, so before we stepped into the studio, I was checking the script, and goodness me, Kaylee wrote a whole essay. This isn't even a Kaylee bomb anymore. This is a Kaylee essay.
Wait, you didn't finish the contract talk.
Yeah, we were going to get into that, but I feel like you might need a little extra time.
That's all right.
Okay, contract talk.
Are we talking about Alpine?
Well, we'll probably.
I feel like we
definitely
should
gonna
talk about that.
Kaylee's gonna mention
That's
that.
Kaylee Bomb. Don't spoil the essay.
All right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't look at it.
So y'all know how I brought up on a post on how I say that the Illinois track in it is actually California in my
Yeah.
opinion. So that got me thinking about contracts and how each race is placed in the contracts. Well, it turns out I did a little bit of research, and by that I went to motorsport.com. 2 of these tracks that are on the schedule this year have their contracts expire at the end of this season. So they're likely going to get renewed or something. I have no idea.
Can I guess the 2?
Go ahead.
I know one of them is Spa.
That is
Unfortunately.
not.
Oh, what?
Mm-mm.
Is next year Spa's last year?
No.
I know they're taking
no,
it
they
off.
were like 30 till 2030.
Not Spa. No, they're getting rid of
31.
Spa.
2031.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I thinking of then? There's an iconic one that they're getting. Oh, Barcelona.
No.
What?
Well, okay,
Barcelona
actually, yes.
is like
Actually,
in
yes.
Barcelona is
Becoming Madrid.
it's
Yeah,
becoming
Madrid.
Madrid,
My bad.
but
That's
it's
my
technically not getting removed.
Isn't it Imola?
Imola, you got it.
Boo. I love Imola.
And there's one more, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Isn't it the change of Madrid and Spa? Oh, Madrid and
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
No, it's not that.
Uh,
It's a
Which one
different
is
one.
The other one is Las Vegas.
Oh, that's
Thank
right.
God.
Really?
Thank
But-
God.
Here's the twist to it. I know Elle wants to celebrate. I would cut her
They
party
only had a
short.
3-year contract?
The deal is initially for 3 years for Las Vegas, but plans are in place to extend the contract to 10 years.
Hell yeah.
They're gonna extend it
know.
like a week or 2 before
Before the race.
They're gonna do what they did to Miami. Miami got extended until 2042. Nobody on the grid on this like Bortoletto isn't even gonna be racing
Yeah,
in
because probably
2042.
the only race Lando Norris can win.
He might
and
like one of these 5 rookies, I think, has a chance
Hey,
to be
man.
racing in 2042.
This is probably the closest race to us. So I'm not.
Las Vegas.
Toda.
Legit.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Vegas.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
Vegas.
But yeah, so those 2 contracts are expiring at the end of the season, likely to be renewed. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix and Coda, those 2 are on their contract expire in 2026.
Coda will get
Coda's for sure. As Keely mentioned, the Spanish Grand Prix moving to Madrid starts 2026. The Dutch Grand Prix.
Sorry, will it be built by then?
It's me.
The Madrid.
What?
Subtle shade.
Real.
I don't even drop it. Because if you want to bring sports into politics,
Zandvoort till next year.
Yep.
And aren't they doing it every
Sandford?
Yeah, aren't they rotating it? Or is that Spa?
No, it's Spa is getting
Spa's
rotated.
getting
Slightly. The Singapore and Mexico City Grand Prix are both on contract until 2028.
We talked about that last week and how we were like, oh, that makes Checo. If they were going to have Mexico sign for 3 more years, they're like, well, Checo probably has a 3-1 career.
No, I think they'll keep it there.
Could. I mean, the fans are always. It's just a matter if they show up in mass for their own logo.
It'll be.
Like, it'd always be better if you had
I mean,
Spanish.
Paso is driving FP1, so there's always somebody.
Plus, I mean, Colapinto looks like he's going to be. I know he's Argentinian and not Mexican, but it's still good for. Do you think they'll race in Argentina?
No.
Nah.
They'll keep
Buenos
it in
Aires.
Mexico.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Mexico. I think there will be people in Mexico that will show up in support of driver like Colapinto, even though he's not Mexican.
Probably not. I doubt it.
Really?
A lot of Mexicans do not like European. Like Spanish European.
Well, I know the beef with Argentina. I know the whole thing
And
about
Spain.
that. But I'm just saying.
More people
If
beefing
Checo's
with
not going to be on the grid and you're going to put the race in Mexico, then why? I don't know.
I don't know.
So yeah, the Japanese Grand Prix is on contract till 2029. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix is on contract till 2030. Extended.
I like Sao Paulo.
I love Sao Paulo Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
Yep.
that one's good.
The Austrian. Oh, go on.
Keep
I need
Monaco too.
Baku to get replaced with African one. That would be cool.
The moment, Monaco needs to stay by all accounts.
Oh,
You know what I saw that would save the Monaco Grand Prix?
What?
Racing the Lego cars.
Yeah, there you go.
They were like, that's how you
They
save the
can't
Monaco
get rid
Grand
of
Prix.
the Monaco Grand Prix. That's like the most historic.
No, that
Grand
would be like, oh, there's no more Kentucky Derby, but we'll do the other ones.
Yeah.
Prix. Yeah,
Like-
that makes sense.
like-
if they,
Kentucky Derby to Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's the Kentucky Derby. It's a huge
Kentucky
deal.
Derby is also a historic.
I mean, it's
thing.
not as expensive as F1, but it's like a very
Very historic, and
prestigious.
This is
prominent
my
tradition.
first cultural shock of being in the U.S. for 4 years.
Did you watch the Kentucky Derby over the last weekend?
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
I didn't
Some of the
watch
most
it.
iconic words in sports.
No, it's a big deal.
Huge deal.
But I get it would be a shame to take it off. They just got to do something. Make the cars smaller.
Yeah,
Make them run softer tires.
In Monaco?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 2026 cars are getting smaller.
Yeah.
Regulation-wise.
They'll need to
And
make-
they're making it an official two-stop. You have to do two-stop strap in Monaco.
Yeah.
Charles-
That should help.
This Gran Turismo race.
Yeah, that should
Charles'
help.
tire mastering skills just under the
So
rug.
the Monaco Grand Prix, like I said, that one deserves to stay on the calendar because the moment if it ever came off, it's never coming back. The safety regulations that go into the Monaco Grand Prix, the distance, like for the race itself, all of it breaches what is every single other Formula One race has to follow. Only Monaco gets those exceptions because of its historical influence. If ever it came off, it's never coming back.
Well, plus all the drivers live in Monaco.
That too.
So it would be weird that that's like the one place that they don't race anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think Monaco ever is supposed to be removed from Formula One. Like,
Yeah.
what?
If you do that, then
It's like,
the
oh, let's
sport
remove the
stands.
Russian anthem from Russia. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's
Yeah.
remove
It's
let's-
basically the
let's-
staple of Formula One.
Yeah.
It's like if you remove the White House from the US.
It'd be like taking the Indy 500 out of Indy 500.
Oh heck
What are we
no.
talking
It's
about?
like taking Talladega out of NASCAR or Daytona.
White
You can't
House.
have Daytona without NASCAR, and you can't have NASCAR without Daytona. You can't have Monaco without F1, and you can't have F1 without Monaco.
You
Well
really
said.
can't. So, good news, the Monaco Grand Prix will stay on the calendar alongside the Italian Grand Prix, the Canadian Grand Prix, and the Belgian Grand Prix, although the latter is going to get rotated, sadly, through 2031. All four of these races are staying here till 2031.
And the rotating Zandvoort too.
No, Zandvoort's completely off.
What?
What?
No.
Oh, that's right. Zandvoort will not be hosting anymore.
Is it
after
the last year?
I forgot when, but
I think
No, it's just like
2026.
That's
Yeah,
so
2026.
stupid. Like
That's
all the
dumb.
good, like Spa is a cult classic, and they're gonna rotate it. Zandvoort, everyone loves Zandvoort, and it's I think Zandvoort's super fun.
It's
It's
good.
such a
It's
unique
not
track.
One of my favorites, though.
It's not my favorite, but it's so unique that like you have to bring an entire different setup to Zandvoort.
Nürburgring.
Nürburgring.
Yes,
Nürburgring. Yeah, that'd be
Nürburgring.
good.
There we go.
I'm on board
Max
with
was
that.
just messing around over there. He's trying to get his license so he can compete
Nürburgring
in the
would be
24 hours of Nürburgring.
Well, there you go. So yeah, the Dutch Grand Prix, by the way, a statement on that says, unlike many other countries, we don't receive government support, so at the end of the day, we are responsible for the bottom line, and based on what we have to be very thorough in calculating our financial risk. That was a statement from Robert van Overdiek, director of Circuit Zandvoort. F in the chat. F in the chat. That's track to track better. So yeah, that's gonna be it. We jumped through 2031. I already mentioned the four races. The Hungarian Grand Prix is here till 2032, as is Qatar. The British Grand Prix is here through 2034.
That's also staying forever.
That has to stay.
Silverstone's never leaving.
Iconic.
The Bahrain Grand Prix through 2036. The Australian Grand Prix through 2037.
I like Australia. You know where I think they should go? They need another Canadian Grand Prix,
No.
or at least move it from Montreal to somewhere else. I think they should do it in like
I think they should
Vancouver.
have two in the US and two in Canada.
Like Vancouver, I think Vancouver would be cool. Or Toronto. Toronto's like too crowded.
Edmonton.
Vancouver would be really cool.
Do an Edmonton.
Yeah.
The
Where is it?
airport?
Wait, what?
The airport?
Just out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's if you're gonna build a purpose-built track, that's where you might want to do it. But if you want to do a street race, they should do it in Vancouver.
The U.S.
Yeah.
has 3 races,
That's enough.
and I like how it's split up. If you've noticed, you have a West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast.
No,
race.
I think
and
they've got it
3
down.
is the perfect amount.
I agree. They've got it down.
Canada only needs 1. Because that's all Canada is Montreal, basically.
I would say Vancouver's good.
I just think Vancouver's a beautiful city, and I think it's worthy of like if you're gonna do a street race, and if you're gonna pick a random city in the world to be like, hey, let's go try F1 here. Vancouver's like one of the first on the top of my
I
list.
would think about that too. But
Los Angeles.
Hell no.
Compton.
What?
That is crazy.
race from
Oh,
Compton to Long Beach.
Race from
The iconic turn around the rocks goes.
Real.
Stop.
downtown LA near the
That's the day.
I always think about that. I'll be driving to work in Newport, and it's like a peninsula. It's like very tight around there, and I'm like, imagine doing an F1 race down there, like where you go all the way down the peninsula, get to the end, and just do a hairpin and go all the way back.
Right.
And you'd have to block off PCH and the Newport Boulevard Bridge that goes over it.
They
Like
could do a race in San Diego. That would be fun.
that would be pretty cool.
San Diego Grand Prix.
I always think about the Orange County Grand Prix and where they would do it.
They used to do
From
it here.
CTF to Long Beach.
Yeah.
We should do Long Beach.
Just saying.
The LBC.
So anyway, Miami stand for 2020.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? I will say we gave a lot of smack about the race. And did they sell us a bunch of stuff? Yeah, absolutely. Was it too much? Yeah. Was it annoying? Did I know who half these influencers were? No. But was the race good? Yeah, it was a good race.
Legos were like the most.
That is the first time I've seen Charles and Lewis smile all season.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the first time
That's
I
true.
They
watched.
smiled bigger in that
That's
Lego
the,
car than they
that's
did.
The first time I watched an American Grand Prix, and the marketing the first time was annoying.
That's the happiest Lewis Hamilton will be wearing red.
Yes.
That is really.
But I mean, it was just a perfect weekend. Like, as from a fan's standpoint, if you don't care, if all you care about is the racing, you had a good sprint race. You had probably the greatest driver sprint ever, and then you had a really good race. Like those first 20 laps of the race was truly insane. Like Max and the McLarens going head to head for 20 laps was so fun to watch. Like that was the best racing we've had all season in terms of head to head.
What I'm saying, what I said while we were watching the race, I said it would be really cool to see Max, Oscar, and Charles race in equally good cars.
Oh, bro.
That would be
Absolutely.
unstoppable.
That
They
would
have
be
the skill.
such fun.
They
you
have
imagine?
the skill. Charles and Oscar are not afraid to race Max.
And
You know
Max
what I
isn't
mean?
afraid to
And
race
Charles
fast.
knows how to race Max too.
I would say Oscar isn't 100% on
But
racing.
he's still up
Max.
there.
He,
Like,
did
he's
you
up
see
there.
that overtake?
I
He knew how to get past Max, and he did it. And in Lando, it took him what 10 laps to get past Max.
Orlando.
Like-
I wouldn't say he's on the level of Charles.
Oh no,
knowing
no,
how
no!
to
I'm not
race
saying
Max.
that. He's just better
He's
than
up
the
there,
rest
Yeah.
of them.
but
I
yeah.
think right now, Oscar Piastri is the man in form, and he's figured out how to get under Max's skin, how to use his aggressiveness as an advantage, and we saw that in that turn one lock. Lando, it was. Oscar Piastri is literally living Lando's life. Like Lando Norris he was the title favorite. He was supposed to be the McLaren Golden Boy.
If
You
Lando
know what I
just
mean?
kept his mouth shut, maybe he wouldn't be so insufferable.
Not even that. If he just knew how to race.
His racecraft needs work.
Yeah, for sure.
His
Yeah,
racecraft,
I'm
that's
not
what's holding him.
saying-
I think I talk about it all the time. Mentally, he holds himself back, but I think his racecraft is like his Achilles heel. Like it's not holding him back; it's just his Achilles heel. Like that's his weakest part of his racing. Whereas I think Oscar, like he has some weaknesses. Like, and I think it just comes to weekend consistency.
At the end of the day, it's his first, like second, third year.
Third year. It just comes to weekend consistency. Like he'll make like one mistake, and then sometimes it happens to be in qualifying. You know, that's why he finished. He started in fourth in Miami because he just kind of had bad qualifying. I mean, it wasn't bad. He started fourth. But what I'm saying is he is the McLaren, not Lando Norris. That people are like everyone's saying, oh, Lando's going to compete with Max, and it's like no, you got it the other way around.
The only thing that really keeps Lando up there still in the conversation is his loyalty to McLaren. And if I was Zach, I'm so sorry. The more effective driver right now is Oscar, and I would have prioritized him.
Everyone's saying they're going to crash this year.
What do you mean, like Lando and Oscar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lando could
You
sub.
think? Can you see that? I mean, I can see it,
I
but
could
is
see
it going to
happening
happen?
and turning into a Drive to Survive episode. It'll happen.
It would have to be late in the season where both of them are still mathematically like pushing for a title race.
I feel like they'll take each other out at least once per person.
Like, what's the? I'm just trying to think of like Mexico has a really long runoff into turn one.
No, they're gonna take each other out in Monaco.
It'll be Monaco.
No, it's too early. I mean,
No. You would think it's too early.
Remember the Red Bull, what it looked like got crashed and stuff? Monaco last year? Was it Monaco?
yeah, it was Checo.
Yeah, it was Checo's.
Checo and the
That's
last
what I'm
guy.
expecting to have a crash. Not the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo and Red Bull of Max Verstappen rear ending. But
See, I'm seeing them
I'm
crashing.
seeing them crash like Lewis and Max did. Remember when their cars went on
yes,
top?
like
Yeah.
crazy.
That's what I'm
some
saying.
some crazy stuff.
Some
not
dramatic
just
ass.
No, I'm thinking it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it being the most dramatic thing possible. Where, like, let's say it is Mexico City, where they get off the start. Let's say, everyone wants to come out of turn one in first, and it's going to be one of those things where Oscar makes the aggressive move, and Lando tries to be more aggressive than Oscar, and then just dive into each other, trying to get that turn one positioning. And I can see it happening late in the season, and it's gonna alter the title race.
Yeah.
You think it's gonna throw off?
I'm not manifesting it. I'm just saying.
Manifest it.
I'm just saying. Like, I have a feeling that if it is gonna happen, it's gonna happen with there's gonna be heavy implications to when it does happen.
There's gonna be some dramatic storyline that only the F1 gods could write.
Like, it's gonna
I
be.
really think it's gonna be like a super complicated track, though.
Yeah. Like,
Because
It's
that's
gonna be
where-
something where like a little mistake on a normal track wouldn't mess up, but on this specific track, it'll destroy your whole race. Is what I'm seeing.
On the note of Netflix, and you guys bringing up that Netflix is going to be there whenever all this drama unfolds, this just in, a documentary called The Seat has just dropped on
Oh, for
Netflix.
Kimmy.
Oh, that
Yeah.
dropped like 2 days ago.
Well, I'm barely finding out.
Yeah,
Right?
it's about Kimmy.
Yeah, it's about Kimmy. Go watch it. Let me know what y'all think.
It was alright. It wasn't.
Oh, it's already
anything
out?
crazy.
Like, everything's
Yeah,
out?
I've already seen it. It's not
Isn't
anything
he like?
crazy.
Isn't there a scene where he like falls asleep in the car while waiting for the?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll stop spoiling it for me.
It's nothing special.
It's not like it's influencing the storyline. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it.
It's not really.
I feel like they took a page out of Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
They did. It's
But I
very
enjoy,
Drive to Survive.
even though the Drive to Survive is like very dramatic, I really do enjoy the way it's filmed. Because that's the dramaticness that I sometimes need to think about when I watch the race, which makes it even
I
more
need to
entertaining.
remember that these are just divas at the end of the day.
Real.
Rich men going in circles.
Driving, yeah.
All right. We were talking about Kimi Antonelli. Let's talk about some other rookies. Jack Doohan is officially being replaced by Franco Colapinto for Imola. Franco only has 5 races in his contract, so who the hell knows what could happen after this, considering Jack has struggled, but hasn't struggled so badly to warrant this exit and timing. It's clearly a lot to do with our buddy, dear Flavio Briatore.
Who's back?
So, Ollie Oakes resigns as the Alpine team principal because, crazy, his brother was charged with transferring criminal property, and he's also apparently working with the Nikita Mazepin's family.
Oh.
His brother has fled to Abu Dhabi, supposedly. It's a whole thing that's happening.
And he was the team principal at McLaren during Crashgate.
Yikes.
Hold that thought. So, who is Flavio Briatore, and why does that name sound so familiar?
I mean, that's why I know him.
It rings
Well,
doom bells over
Crash
let me tell you. I call him a con artist because he was found guilty of fraud in the 80s.
I didn't know it goes that far back.
He fled to the Virgin Islands, set up some Benetton franchises that inevitably led him to run the Benetton F1 team. While Crashgate is his most renowned cheating scandal, he's been pushing his luck for decades because con artists tend to not be able to give up the grip.
Alright then.
What is Crashgate? The Renault Formula One crash controversy, dubbed as Crashgate by some in the media, was a sporting scandal caused when Renault F1 driver Nelson Piquet Jr. Does that ring a bell? Kelly Piquet. That is Mac's girlfriend's now
Baby
mama girlfriend,
spouse, partner.
Wag.
Wag.
Deliberately, her father deliberately crashed during the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix to give a sporting advantage to his Renault teammate Fernando Alonso. All right. So, brief description. The 2008 was the 15th lap of the Singaporean Grand Prix, which was close to exceeded pit window for everyone's first stop. The Renault R28, driven by Piquet Jr., crashed into the circuit wall at turn 17, necessitating a safety car deployment. Alonso had previously made an early pit stop and was promoted to the race lead as the other cars were running out of fuel and were forced to pit under safety car conditions, resulting in a penalty or shortly after the safety car period, which pushed them several positions behind the now compact Alonso. Subsequently won the race after starting 15th on the grid. At the time, Piquet Jr. had stated the crash was a simple mistake, excusing himself with how hard the car was to drive with heavy fuel. Basically, then Piquet got dropped for the team, and started running his mouth, saying that didn't happen.
Yikes.
If you didn't know, though, in 2007, he committed the exact same cheating scandal as McLaren's Spygate. He was found guilty, but he escaped penalty while McLaren received the $100 million fine. While Crashgate was his most famous, his Crashgate was the most famous scandal. He would have gotten away with that too if Nelson Piquet Jr. hadn't told everyone about it, like I said, since his best buddy Bernie Ecclestone
Of course.
has been more than willing to ignore his cheating scandals. And here's the biggest issue with him returning. He has never run an F1 team, even with the semblance of the rules. Even in F1, you're always trying to get away with breaking the engineering rules as much as possible. Flavio Briatore laughs at that like it's child's play. To think he could suddenly wake up with the idea to cheat with Crashgate is naive and so very, very wrong. You don't just start Crashgate, you've been actively getting away with cheating and were so comfortable doing whatever you wanted to get ahead that you became too obvious. And F1 is still suffering the consequences of his actions. Felipe Massa is currently suing F1 because of what Bernie Ecclestone knew and when he knew. But Flavio's cheating has left a huge asterisk next to the 2008 World Championship. And considering he was able to convince the son of a World Championship driver to crash his car, consider what he will be willing to ask a driver with significantly less support and power in the sport.
So you're saying somebody at Alpine hired an Etsy witch?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Flavio Briatore is bad for the sport.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's kind of like the general consensus around this news, I'd say. I just feel bad for Jack.
Yeah.
To go out with Legos.
That's true. But I just feel like rookies don't have a chance to be rookies. Like there's no such thing as like I get that Formula 1 is like a very expensive, like a mistake in Formula 1 is a very expensive mistake. But if you're a rookie going out there, you feel like you have to be perfect and that you can't make mistakes. That's not how you grow. Like
it's not every team. I would say Alpine is the very big.
Well, look at Red Bull with what they did to Liam Lawson.
Yeah, but
They dumped him after 2 races. And I get that he wasn't like a rookie. He had some experience, but like I just feel like young drivers aren't being given a chance anymore in F1.
They are. It's just not
It's
with
harder.
Alpine or Red Bull, but to be fair, Lawson already had experience coming in driving these cars.
Kick Sauber.
So that's what I'm saying. Alpine's like the only outlier. I'm not going to count Red Bull because Lawson did have experience and should know how to drive a car by now.
I mean, 4 team principals in what, 4 years for them?
Alpine, yeah, something like that. I told Sergio when the news broke, they're playing musical chairs with an F1 seat at this point. Jack had 6 races. Franco has 5. If Franco can't prove himself, Paul Aaron's probably going to get 4 races. That's what it's looking at. They're just knocking down.
Going down the pecking order.
That's why they signed 45 reserve drivers, because eventually it'll be Paul Aaron's turn.
I just feel like they're gonna have like 4 different racers have a 6-race stint, and they're just gonna like look at the numbers
Well,
and be like, well, statistically, this guy drove the car better.
To Franco's contract, it's only 5.
It is 5, which is weird. That's like an awkward amount, because then you have what, 11 races? No, I'm trying to do the math. 13 races left.
Well, I think is there only 5 before summer break?
They do 14 races. I think Spa is the final race before break.
Is it?
And it's
You don't know?
No idea. Let's find out.
Because I thought summer break they go. It's around like June.
no, it's like July.
August.
I think it's July.
it's August.
I think it's July or August. I think Spa is the last race.
Because I was gonna
before-
say if they had only 5 races left before summer break, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if there's actually like
More.
So for 2025, the Hungarian Grand Prix is going to be the last race before summer break. If you can even call it a
August.
summer break anyway. It's in August. The Hungarian Grand Prix is August 3rd. The next race after that is the Dutch Grand Prix on August 31st. So basically,
So it's like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Last year we had 2 breaks. I'm pretty sure. It was like a month off.
Yeah,
Twice.
last year was like more spread.
They had more triple headers last year. I remember
Yeah.
that. There was like a bunch of triple headers.
Yeah.
Like they had.
I think this also has to do in part with sponsorship money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No more Rolex. There's no more Rolex.
Well, no, I mean at Alpine.
Oh, I thought we were talking about F1 as a whole.
At Alpine, definitely sponsorship money. I mean, Jack Doohan brought in a lot of sponsors, but now Franco Colapinto is going to bring in more, and so now Alpine's going to have a lot of money. And Flavio Briatore is at the helm, even though he should have been banned from the sport for life.
No, he's gonna bring a little money.
Does Gasly get
That's
on
how
the podium
Europe
this year?
survives, basically.
Probably. Who knows? They'll
I mean-
probably send Franco into a wall and Gasly to the podium.
I mean, his last podium was at Brazil last year, but that was just a chaotic race. Like
That didn't count.
that's going to be what it takes to get at least one Alpine on the podium, not two. I mean, the Brazilian Grand Prix 2024 was truly chaos. Like it did not on my bingo card of 2 Alpines on the podium at all last year. So if they can even get somewhat close back to that, that's a success, even if it is under one of the most controversial men around the sport.
I don't know.
That was the Kaylee Baum was.
Guys, I don't know what to
Flavio
say.
Briatore is back.
Good for him.
But anyway, we'll find out how Alpine season goes. It's going to be very, very interesting to find out. So, for anyone listening, we are almost at the end of what this is our final episode of Grand Prix Talk before the summer break. We're going away. L is not going to be here anymore. R.I.P.
Alright, she'll be in Russia.
I know. So I just wanted to ask everyone, and I guess we'll go down the order. Who is your semester-wide best friend / frenemy, if you've got one?
Team-wise?
I'll let you think, Zach. I want to start with you because you're not here for the best. Yeah, because you're not here for the best friends frenemy sections ever.
I guess. So what am I picking?
Best friend is who your favorite driver or what your favorite moment was in racing so far this semester, and frenemy is the worst.
Gotcha. I mean, obviously, I would go Oscar.
Oscar's his best friend for the semester.
Just because, I mean, yeah, he's winning. But I just feel like he's been the most, like his overtakes are just so clean.
They are.
You
Lewis
know?
Hamilton one.
He's overtaken Hamilton twice. That one last week against Max. The one against his teammate. What was it? When did he overtake? It was in Bahrain, right?
Yeah.
Against Lando.
Clean.
He's a clean driver. And obviously, he's my favorite.
So
frenemy. That's tough. I guess. You know what? Like, I'm a big Lance Stroll hater, but he's kind of been flying like under the radar this year. I think the fact that he's outperforming Fernando Alonso is like helping him a little. You know, I'm not harping on him as much this year. I could easily say Liam Lawson. I don't know. There's nobody this year that's like bothers me. I guess my gripe would be with Fernando Alonso for having like negative 30-something points for my fantasy team. Like I could be killing it this year, and he's holding me back. It's whatever. He'll put it together whether or not Adrian Newey has him in mind, or if they're going to compete this year or not. So yeah, Pookie, Oscar Piastri, and let's look that up. And who did I just say? Fernando Alonso.
You said Fernando Alonso was a friend of me. Well, there you have it. Zach's best friend, Osakar, as I've been referring to. Osakar. Like I sent it on the Discord, so y'all know the context now. And Fernando Alonso, his frenemy for the semester, Wilden. For L, this is gonna be your one, like I guess forever frenemy, forever best friend.
My forever best friend would probably be Charles, because even though I have been it's like family tough love type thing where I definitely am not satisfied with their performance this year, but at the end of the day I understand it's not his fault. He's gonna be my bestie, I guess, for sure, because he's like a prime art of not giving up. With his Monaco stuff, with his stuff overall with Ferrari, and still sticking to it, and still like trying to do your best is definitely like an example that everyone should follow, and that I followed throughout my story here in the US. Not giving up. Took him 4 years to win Monaco. Took me 4 years to graduate. Type thing. But for the frenemy, I'm definitely gonna say Azerbaijan Grand Prix, because I don't think it should be as one of the racing tracks still present, because Formula One holds a policy of not bringing politics into sports, but then it ends up doing that with Russia, which is silly, because Azerbaijan is literally in active war actions with Armenia still to this day, and we're not doing anything about that, which is crazy. But yeah, that's my forever enemy and forever best friend.
Valid. Kaylee, let's hear yours for the semester.
My best friends would be Joey Logano and Charles Leclerc.
He finally got it done.
Logano finally got it done. Charles, I admire the Stockholm Syndrome, buddy. I appreciate you thugging it out all these years with this shite team. My frenemies, Ricky Stenhouse, Denny Hamlin, Ferrari strategists, Flavio Briatore, Helmut Marko.
I didn't even think about Helmut Marko. You can throw him in there for me.
Yeah, I got.
Christian Horner, you creep.
He made Isaac cry.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, well, like I said,
Just hate those guys, so I guess they're just my frenemies.
Got beef.
maybe I should run the Red Bull Racing team. Then I'll, maybe cook something up. I'm just gonna be like, hey guys.
Sergio's gonna put himself in the seat.
No, literally. Hey Max, you need a teammate? I'm right here.
What about my boy Yuki?
Okay, you know what? You're right.
Max gotta retire, but like, give him a break. He has a whole child now to take care of.
Go bond with your child and just sim racing. Shoo.
In the
be like
meantime,
Oz.
just saying.
How unprecedented that would be.
Insane.
To be the team principal, but also driver.
I saw a tweet that was like, that child has Verstappen and PK in their blood.
Oh, that child's gonna be ridiculous.
Hey, we don't know. I really think that she might not be.
I mean,
It's like, but the higher expectations, the lower the performance.
Real.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. He said he doesn't want his child going in, but I feel like that's
Maybe
gonna
it's
make
like-
the child want to go.
You know how genetics hit like once every generation? Like, for example, my grandma is a redhead. My dad has black hair, and my sister has orange. Like, she's kind of like a blondish something. So if Jos Verstappen wasn't able to race properly, Max Verstappen is so talented, his daughter might not be.
But if you think about it, Kelly's already had one kid.
so maybe
But Max
Nelson
didn't.
Piquet could be reincarnated.
Max didn't yet. We're
But
talking
who
about
knows? Maybe it
Verstappen.
cancels out, and it just
Isn't
makes her
Verstappen
overpowered.
doing
Maybe it's like
better
a-
than
it's like a-
Bennett?
Yeah.
It's like a double negative.
But I think
Or it
it's
becomes a positive.
Yeah, it becomes a positive. Two negatives equal a positive.
Could be, but I really
She's
don't
about
think
to
so.
become
I hope she's happy.
Crazy.
I hope
Yeah.
she's happy she doesn't enter the world of F1.
Is she gonna go by Lily Verstappen or Lily PK Verstappen?
She goes
I
by
think
PK
Verstappen. It could be Verstappen.
Sounds. Hey, that name goes kind of hard.
I do know that they wanted to hyphenate it.
Did you guys hear how he named her Lily
After Monaco nightclub.
Bro.
And Jimmy and Sassy, his cats, they're also
Name like those
Monaco
are the names of the
clubs, Monaco-based clubs. So
Oh, Max. He loves his gin tonics.
at the club
The club.
in Monaco.
So I didn't think too much about my frenemy for this semester, so I'm just gonna go with the first two that came off my mind immediately. Everyone and their grandma in the NASCAR officials booth again. I'm giving it to them for the whole semester because they screwed over one of those races. Could have been, should have been an amazing 3-wide photo finish, and it wasn't. Remember that?
I do remember that.
I haven't forgotten. Certainly not.
I remember screaming at Joey Logano that race.
Well, there you go. See, the other is the rain at Miami. I mean, they get plenty of rain. It's us in LA that need the rain, and you killed off one of the F1 Academy races. Like it was
I know, that was devastating.
It was devastating. My best friend for the semester is gonna go to my new favorite F1 Academy driver, Chloe Chambers. Easy. It was an easy choice because bruh, I still remember the first F1 Academy race I watched this year. I think it was in China where they were having. That was also where they kicked off the season. I think. I don't know. Yeah. So I tuned into that. I see that there's a one driver who's like Red Bull Ford. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, there's the tie-ins already. So I'm already eyeing that driver. Turns out it's Chloe Chambers. And not only was the sponsorship cool and all that, nah, she could drive. Like, she was putting up a fight for the podium, for the win. She was taking the fight to Dorian Pine or Pan. Sorry, again, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
But you know, she's taking up the fight to Dorian and to Maya Vogue.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like her putting up a fight where it's just like, oh, I'm rooting for a driver not just on the basis of, oh, cool team, cool sponsor, cool everything. Questionably, of course, because the leaders are yeah, the leaders are something else, but hey, the team, I guess. But also, like, the girl herself can drive. It's like, this is awesome. I am a Chloe Chambers fan from here on out. Chloe Chambers, you are my best friend for this semester. Hold on, put the camera on her.
I'm tired. I'm about to retire.
Yeah, she's gonna retire. She's bringing it back into the box, and
she's on the back now.
She's yeah, indeed. So
she's wrapping up her 17th, 18th hole.
No, for real, For real.
It was a golf reference.
That's a golf reference. 18 holes, the final.
I'm not watching your grand.
You're basically on the final turn.
You're on the last lap, homegirl.
Penultimate corner.
Finish line is right.
She's excited. I'm not.
I'm not excited. I'm not excited. I'm just ready to rest because I really am tired.
I'm not excited.
I don't blame you.
I'm depressed.
I'm
For real, we're
Hey, keep those vibes high.
You guys are acting as if I'm dying.
You pretty much are.
You're not gonna be back.
You're on.
I'm like, you have a phone and shit.
You're dying. That's it. You're dying.
You're gonna be in the whole other side of the world.
Okay, but I'm still alive. Like, that's, you guys are overreacting. It's not that serious. It's not that deep.
Oh, my fault for loving you, G. My bad.
Wow.
You're right.
I'm sorry for carrying.
I'm sorry for loving you. My bad.
It's like you guys are causing yourself more pain by putting that much emphasis on it.
I've been in pain, okay?
You'll find another international student.
Spain without the S.
Spin. Yep.
I said Spain without the S, Sergio.
Man,
It's like, well, we're talking racing still, right?
Look, I just had to say something, okay? But
Pain.
No, that was good. That was good.
I'm glad. Well,
Spain without the S. Spin.
all right,
man.
folks. Well, that about does it. Whether you tune in for the beginning, man, I'm not gonna say goodbye yet. Like, I'm still gonna be here next semester. Kaylee will most likely.
I'll be stopping in.
Zach will be stopping in every now and again, most likely Fridays. Well, there you go. So maybe we don't.
We'll get her a fat head. Put it in the background.
We'll get a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
Upgrade to the point where you can put a Skype, like a
Well, I
Skype
guess-
or
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I realized we won't even be in this building. This is the last show in this studio.
Sports block in the 22 West.
Wow, we won't even be in this room anymore.
And
It's kinda
Grand Prix
crazy.
Talk taking it home, huh?
Wow.
Around the bases, I opened it and I closed it out today.
What a way to book it.
There you
same
go.
discussions.
Real.
Wrapped it up.
Well, folks, that about does it for the whole semester. Thank you so much for joining us for Grand Prix Talk, especially if you've been tuning in from the... Man, doesn't matter. Whether you tune in day one or you're just tuning in today, man, we were glad to have you. This is my entire team. It was absolutely awesome having them. I'm going to miss them during the summer. We will be back in some way or form in the fall. Except for now, you know, she's gone.
She's dying.
She'll be here in
Stop
spirit.
saying that. Literally not
Quit
funny.
telling people I'm
Exactly. All right, folks. For Zachary Durham, Elmira Darmanian, Kaylee Gallagher, I'm Sergio Morales. Hey, do your
Papaya.
Forza Ferrari.
I'm going home.
Run, bulletproof run, and we will see you all next time.